turn to 11 a.m. because I don't know. I feel like so I like to get up early in the morning, get a lot of stuff done, right? And then you're just like waiting around, and then noon comes, and then it's after lunch, and it's like, F that stuff. So 11 a.m., thank you very much. Everyone who's watching on the live stream, shout out to you. Plus, thank you for catching us on demand as well. And yeah, this is sort of stem from, the hashtag quarantine. Usually just talking junk through this interesting times. So we'll do that up. So again, shout out to everyone in the live chat right now. But also, that's exactly them, right? So this guy was interesting yesterday. Obviously a Bills fan. And we did a video breaking down Brandon Beane's comments about the Stephon Diggs trade. Brandon Beane is the GM of the Bills. So, all right, so check out the timestamps. So 14 minutes, 17 minutes. So the bottom one is the first comment. Hey, we just get smoked with snow because of Lake Erie. It's cold just like everywhere else, my G. Hashtag my G. There we go. And then you see 3 minutes go by. So then he's gotten into the meat of the video where, of course, it's partisan. Of course, it's one-sided. Of course, I'm going to talk of my team and talk shit to the other team, right? This is what we do. That's on brand. That is what this channel is all about, right? So then he gets, and Brandon Beane is one of the best GMs in the league. You should do your homework before you flap your gums. Just terrible job. And I feel bad for you Vikings fans who listen to this idiot. Also, I would have to say, so there's two comments that, actually, maybe I shouldn't say the two comments that sort of are my pet peeves. First one is, this aged well. That's all right. So we did a video, example, like we did, say we'll do a video about, we predict the Vikings are going to win, and then the Vikings lose. This aged well. But also the comment, do your homework. That always gets me. I say that it's actually directly proportional. Like the lower your IQ, the more often you say do your homework to like public figures and stuff like that. Where it's like, sorry, I didn't know that Cyrus Kwanjo was left-handed. Do your homework. What kind of hack are you? I don't know why this one in particular was funny to me. Probably because of the shot and then chaser of how it completely pulled a 180. What up, my G? And then all of a sudden, idiot. But it's funny to me, and I love it. Especially like Packers and Bears fans, they get fired up. I mean, Bears fans, whenever we talk junk about Mitchell Trubisky Ponder, they get so up in arms. Like, they get so mad. But it's all good in the hood. There you go. All right, so we got Q&A from you guys today, as well as, so the Falcons, they dropped a new album today. This album, by the way, what album cover does this look like? I would say like some sort of gospel album. It definitely would not be Parental Advisory. There you go. Well, fits within Atlanta, right? And then, so Matt Ryan is just sitting here chilling, trying to look all badass. Like, you went to Boston College, man. You get out of here. So now we did a whole video on breaking this down. I think the ATL pretty corny. I don't like teams trying to do the futuristic look. It's like, oh, this is what they'll look like in the future. Nah, I mean, what's wrong with contemporary looks, man? Get out of here. I do like the throwbacks, but I've always liked the Falcons throwbacks. But overall, I think that they're worse than the Bucks. But the reason that everyone likes the Bucks throwbacks is because they're the old uniforms, right? Can we get this bigger? That's what she said. ABC Action News. Wait, can we just get a large photograph? I mean, you think that I would have this prepped ahead of time. All right, so this is what pisses me off about local news websites. So, first of all, this is how you can tell that local news is dying. So this is the ABC affiliate website for WFTS Tampa Bay. Now, this happens for every local market. Like, you go to WCCO, go to KSTP.com. So it's like, all the pop-ups, all these videos that play right away, so I get it. Respect. You guys sit through 5-second YouTube ads on the beginning of our videos. Again, respect helps us out. It's great. But on some of these local news ones, it's like an unskippable minute 30 commercial, and you have to have the sound on for it to count. I mean, get out of here. I mean, just like, what is this mess? Anyways, can we just get the picture? I don't want to see that. All right, there we go. All right, so these uniforms are just like the old uniforms. That's why people like them. So, except for this pewter on pewter on pewter. This just looks like a turd after taco night. That's what it looks like. See here. Mike Allstott. Yeah, thinking back to the days of like Allstott and Wark Dunn. Just Allstott up the gut. Those were the prime uniforms because, yeah, I know that everyone and their mom creams about the creamsicle uniforms, but when the Bucks went to this, I mean, come on. I mean, freaking come on. I love these Buccaneers uniforms from back in the day. But also, I feel like that just going back to your old uniforms, which they admitted defeat, because, I mean, these ones were absolute trash. I mean, the ones where, all right, so we got the pewter helmet, which is always great, but then we're trying to incorporate some of the creamsicle in there. It's like, oh, okay. And then also the digital numbers, because we're so forward thinking. It's like, oh, this is what they'll count like in the future. Please. These are some ugly ass uniforms. Yeah, I mean, just atrocious. It's almost as bad as the Seahawks highlighter. All right, so you guys remember these? And yeah, they adopt them as like the color rush, but they wore them. Here it is. They wore these unironically in like the early 2000s. It was like about the time that they made Super Bowl 40. It was like, hey, yeah, we're gonna wear those. But I will say, Seahawks throwbacks. Even though, you know, F the Seahawks, like straight in the face, I will say that, oh man. All right, so if they decide to go this route, we zoom. Oh yes. I mean, again, I have no love lost for the Seahawks. F them straight in the face. But these uniforms are sexy AF. Like these are throwback to the Steve Largent, Jim Zorn days. I mean, Kurt Warner, the one with the C, the running back. Yeah, that guy. Damn, those look good. Yeah. But anyways, all right, so we got some Q&A as well as today. So the add-on question we put out there was underrated bands. It says, who are some of your underrated bands? Now, we came up with one yesterday, which, you know, Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR, right? Now, a lot of people think super mainstream, but I also feel like they have so many good songs that even though they are a big-time band, and they do get a lot of play. Like, every single Vietnam movie, it's Fortune Son, the choppers come in. I think Family Guy did a parody of that back in the day too. Plus, so I came up with a mini list of mine. So it sort of speaks to my quasi like emo high school music bring up. So MXPX moved to Bremerton one time. Queens of the Stone Age. I feel like Queens of the Stone Age, they were involved in like the parachuting, I believe, a couple years ago. Was that or earthquake? I'm really good at getting details kind of right. There we go. Yellow Card. Yellow Card was the jam back in the day. They were pretty good. Oh, Sugar Cult. And speaking of like whiny pop punk that Andy, high school Andy was really into. So you Run the Jewels. Oh, all right. So Run the Jewels, they get a lot of coverage, except they're so freaking good, man. They're so, like, show me a bad Run the Jewels song, and I will call you a liar, sir. I will do that up. Plus, also, like if you're working out, that'll get you pumped and going. So Mace, remember Mace? P Diddy, Run the City, Show No Pity. Mace, that album Harlem World, amazing, game changer, really was. Jimmy Eat World, The Middle, come on. The Darkness, I believe in a thing called love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It was great. It was at a time where irony was starting to come in. So it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And this complete throwback FU 80s big hair falsetto band comes along. Andy Kim. Now, say the name Andy Kim, and you're like, who the hell is that? But he's ain't it good, ain't it right, rock me gently, rock me slowly. Now, for so many years, I thought that song was a Neil Diamond song, right? Because you think anyone who sounds like Neil Diamond from that age is probably Neil Diamond, right? But apparently it's Andy Kim. He's really good. Oh, also Redbone, Come and Get Your Love, really fantastic, one-hit wonder. Nah. But also 38 Special. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. I mean, come on, one time, son. All right, so that is our musical segment for the day. Thank you, everyone who's still watching. Heart, you guys. All right. Also, let us. Oh, Mark Wills puts in, do you like the band Semisonic? All right, so Mark Wills, I believe he's from Australia, but yeah, Semisonic. Closing time. Every bar plays this song because they think they're funny. Also, they're from Minneapolis. Shout out. All right, so I'm trying to think of like Minneapolis bands off the top of my head. So, Motion City Soundtracks become underrated bands. Obviously Prince, More Stay in the Time. Next, and a real close, and then a real slow. They're from here. Atmosphere. Brother Ali, obviously. So here, Soul. I was confused Soul Asylum and Better Than Ezra. I know one of them is from here. We'll figure it out. But yeah, let us know where you're watching from. Oh, Crossfade. Ben Nieder. Crossfade's a solid one. Yeah. All right, so let us know where you're watching from. Give a couple shout outs here in a hot second. So there we go. Let's start up some Q&As. Turtle 553, or I could just sing the whole hour. I don't know. I'm undecided. Turtle 553. What do you think about the Bucks' new jerseys? New Jersey. Should the Vikings change theirs? I say no. Sort of already covered the Buccaneers ones, but let's see. Vikings. We've talked about that. I feel like these ones, like the Vikings throwbacks here, like those are pretty legit. Or there's always one that I go to. Or yeah, here's Visante Shanko rocking that one with the gray face mask. Those look pretty good. And I do give props to the Vikings. Like, they haven't really changed their uniforms that much. Vikings uniform history. That much over the years. And it's probably a good thing. So I'm trying to find an infographic. Nah, I know that people have gone back to like, oh, they should do an all purple or all black or all retro or all this or all that, or it's like, oh, here's Family Guy's Vikings uniforms or logos or whatever. It's like, nah, I say fat. No, there's always one really good picture. Randall McDaniel that I always go to is like, all right, if you're not gonna do the gray face mask, go this route. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh baby. I mean, just look at that. He's looking like Darth Vader. No, he's looking more like Judge Dredd, the Carl Urban version. Yeah. So he's just there, like he's got the mini neck roll going on. Also with his funky ass stance. Randall McDaniel, one of the greatest of all time. Plus, I do like the stripes for that. I also just like the simple block lettering. Like we don't need to do the tapering off. We don't need to. Oh, all these numbers have horns. It's so cool. It's so great. Pants are simple and clean. Just the 2-color stripe. Don't need to get anything fancy there. It's great. Actually, for me, what was the worst Vikings uniform? 2008 Vikings. Yeah, I would put these up there. I mean, I guess just by default, these would be the worst ones. Mainly because I didn't like. I didn't like I thought they were trying to get too cute with like, oh, well, the stripe is like a horn on the pants. It's like whatever, and then it's like, yeah. I feel like a lot of the times they get too cutesy wootsy. Trying to think of uniform updates and also like logo updates as well. So yeah. All right, so that's my thoughts on the new Buccaneers uniforms. Mr. Popo. More of a comment. The disrespect of Harrison Smith not being on the All-Decade team. Yep, we did a video on this yesterday where, man, people got mad. Like 2 days ago, we ran over the All-Decade team, and because I like to troll you guys, we purposely skipped over Harrison not being on there. You guys, you didn't get it. It was funny though. But yeah, absolutely disrespect. Plus, it's the football writers who make the All-Pro teams. It's the football writers who vote on the All-Decade team, and it is the football writers who vote for the Hall of Fame. And I'm sorry that the general beat writer at the Akron Beacon doesn't watch enough Harrison Smith film to appreciate his greatness. I was like, oh yeah, he's the one. He is the one who's voting on the Hall of Fame, right? It's like, well, Baker Mayfield did this for the Browns. Who should I vote for the All-Pro team? Who does everyone else say is good? Oh, Earl Thomas. Oh, Eric Weddle's got the beard. May as well vote for him. Oh, we'll put Eric Berry on the All-Decade team even though he played half the decade. Whatever. Abza Abdi. If Trevor Lawrence was in this year's draft class, would it be a monster game changer or a small edit? I think it would be a game changer. Honestly, It would be like Burrow and Lawrence 1-2. It'd be like Manning and Leaf. It would be to a much lesser degree like Goff and Wentz, and also Jameis and Mariota. And of course, I mean you saw from there that I mean of those 6 quarterbacks that went 1-2. Also Andrew Luck, RG3. Throw those in there too. So of those 8 quarterbacks that went 1-2, there was one hit, Peyton Manning. There was a couple of foul balls, we'll say Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, and then a bunch of strikeouts. So Andrew Luck, respect, was good for a long time before injuries, health caught up to him for sure. RG3, Jameis, Mariota, Wentz, like we already said, Wentz. Who'd we skip? Oh, Ryan Leaf as well. So yeah, I think it would be really interesting. Actually, hell, it might go 1, 2, 3. It might go Lawrence, Burrow, and Tua. I would put Lawrence above Burrow, mainly because Trevor Lawrence has already done it for 2 years. Burrow did it for 1, as well as Lawrence is probably like 4 years younger than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is surprisingly old, by the way. You get that with redshirt seniors, but yeah. Brett Vuvuzelas. Who are the receivers the Vikings are most likely to draft? Because Kirkin needs a tall receiver. I would say probably from that second, third tier of guys. So looking at Mims, looking at Higgins, looking at Ayuk, looking at Chenault, looking at Jalen Reagor, etc. Oh, KJ Hamler toss in there too. There's going to be a couple guys there, whether 25, 58, etc. Don't rule out Pittman or Claypool or Tyler Johnson either. Yeah. Tyler, what do you do with this draft? Again. Yeah, man. Yahoo.org. I have a feeling big names will drop to us in the first. What would be your dream first 3 rounds? Well, dream first 3 rounds. All right, so that's too many picks. We'll say dream first and second round. Somehow, some way, Andrew Thomas is probably way too optimistic. I'll say C.J. Henderson gets to 22. C.J. Henderson 22. Man. Do I just completely do this up? All right, so maybe Kinlaw falls because of some of the character red flags. So Henderson 22, Kinlaw 25, and Antoine Winfield Jr. 58, or like Jalen Reagor 58, or Chenault 58 if he gets that far. Jacob Sly. Who are the top 5 Vikings players right now? My vote: Daniil, Harrison, O'Neal, Kendricks, Anthony Harris, honorable mention Thielen. Yeah, so Daniil 1. So Harrison 2. Yeah, despite age. O'Neal 3 is a good pick. Do you have to put Cousins on there just because he plays quarterback? I mean, you may have to just because of the nature of the position. I'll go Daniil, Harrison. I put Kendricks 3. Just because we can do as a 3-down linebacker. O'Neal 4, Cousins 5, and yeah, Thielen a little bit lower just because of age, etc. Miles O'Leary, do you think the Vikings will win a Super Bowl in the Kirk Cousins era, and how's the family? No, as well as family is awesome. We're getting through quarantine, even though the 4-year-old is a little rambunctious, just trying to stay inside all day. And also, yeah, telecommuting with the preschool teachers. It's rough, but we're making it work. Maya Deshpande, what sort of money do you think Alexander Madison will be making once his rookie deal is up, assuming he continues to ascend, and he has over the last year? Well, it's not going to be top-tier running back money. I think that's just what it is at this point. Like, maybe could he work his way into a Mark Ingram adjacent type deal, like the second contract that Ingram had with the Saints, which I believe is like $4 million a year, somewhere in there, where I actually think that, well, with running back, there's a lot of haves, and then there's like a middle tier, and then it's absolutely have-not. So the fact that Madison has already looked good as a rookie, I think he could get some really big opportunities in the next couple years, depending on what happens with Dalvin Cook. Yeah, but I do think that the big quarterback money, is gone. So we did a Zoom happy hour with a bunch of my college friends the other day. And a lot of them hadn't been introduced to the coronavirus prank, where you send your friends a link and then it turns into a photo of a well-endowed gentleman just as a prank. And now they're sending me the updates. It's like, did you know that he's dead? Yes, we know that he's dead. So get out of here. All right. So next up, Wild Guild 215. Wild Guild 215. Oh, shout outs to where people are watching from. Nona, Minnesota. Shout out to Powerful Winona. Iowa in the house. Darius Martin from Seattle. Stay safe out there. Way back. Karen Carpenter, best woman vocal of all time. I agree. Oh, yeah. Oh, dropping Morris Day in the Time references. Hell yeah. Clinton 14, Montana. Haywood, ABQ, New Mexico. What's going on? Aiden Stanfield, Sioux Falls. Chase Engelke, Lester Prairie, Minnesota. Eric Hansen, watching from Arlington, out west. What's up? Actually, is it out west? Preacher Paul, Belgrade, Montana. There, shouts. Again, thanks guys for coming along on the live stream. Awesome to have you along. Hump Day. Although we have no idea what day it actually is. There you go. Wild Guild 215. Vikings talk boring. Let's talk about Steve Buscemi and how much he rocks. Steve Buscemi absolutely rocks. Hold on. IMDb Steve Buscemi, because early on he was just seen as the character actor guy, the little side piece in a movie that it's actually more interesting than the protagonist or the antagonist, but he's just whatever. I forgot he was in Fargo. Of course, how could I forget that? All right, so let's bring this in frame. All right. Actually, is Wikipedia cleaner to look at this? Steve Buscemi. Because recently, like, Steve Buscemi has shown that he is a full-on leading man. I love the show Boardwalk Empire. At first I was like, how is Gollum gonna fare? Leading an HBO drama. Like, how's this gonna work? But dude kicked ass. He was freaking amazing. All right, here we go. Filmography. All right. So let's go all the way back like chiropractic. Oh, actually, this is reverse order. There you go. All right, so now Telephone Dioxide, Barton Fink, yeah, and then big time Reservoir Dogs. Airheads. Airheads is one of the more underrated movies of all time. You have Brendan Fraser at his comedic height. You have Steve Buscemi as sort of a bit role. Chris Farley's in a bit role as well. Adam Sandler is the third banana in this movie. I mean, it was a phenomenal movie. Like, there's not many. There's not many. Like great comedies from the 90s that still hold up. That's certainly one of them. Pulp Fiction. Billy Madison. Con Air, of course. Garland Green, just amazing in that. And also, he didn't have to stretch to be creepy. There you go. As well as The Big Lebowski. Steve Buscemi may be like the Forrest Gump of like recent movie actors, where it was in so many great movies that you forget about. The Wedding Singer, where is the I'm the best wedding singer in the world. They sing at the end. Armageddon, freaking rock out. Sorry, boss, I just wanted to feel the power between my legs. That was freaking great. Let's see what else here. Spy Kids. Big Fish. By the way, so The Messenger was a low key great movie, like full on, like very emotional. So Ben Foster, it actually stars two of my favorite actors. Well, three if you count Steve Buscemi. So two of my favorite actors, Ben Foster and Woody Harrelson. I think both will eventually win Oscars. But their performances in that movie, The Messenger, it was phenomenal. And Steve Buscemi. So the premise of the movie is Harrelson and Ben Foster, they are part of the army who notify next of kin when a soldier has been killed in combat. So Steve Buscemi is one of the dads, and it's a very amazingly acted, very emotionally charged scene, and Buscemi's phenomenal. Go look that up. All right, so let's see what else here. I forgot he was the bad guy in that. In Boss Baby and whatnot. Watching a lot of Boss Baby. And then TV. He was on The Sopranos. Oh, there you go. Oh, also, so 30 Rock, where he plays the private detective, Jack Donaghy's PI. It was great. And of course, Boardwalk Empire it really gets lost in the history of great HBO shows, but I will say F you. Boardwalk Empire was one of the finest damn shows of the past 25 years. Really, it really was. All right, that's it. So that is Steve Buscemi. That's a good that's a good question. I guess lost on a tangent. Matty Mac, definitely while still in San Dimas high football rules. Spencer Vox, Viking slogan: if you spent 50 years choking, you'd be purple too. I kind of like that one. Also, I kind of like that it's a little autoerotic. Garrett Spage, doll. Who's your favorite band? My favorite band is Kiss, and my favorite underrated band is Ninja Sex Party. All right, I don't really say that I have a favorite band. Because if I'm not that big of a concert goer person. Well, also now because of Rona, but even before, I really like crowds. But I guess if I had to pick a band to go see, it might be Blink-182. Like it might be Blink-182 or Foo Fighters or something along those lines. So Abs Abdi. You've done a lot of Vikings need to draft videos. Do you truly think the Vikings need to draft, or are there too many options to choose? All right, so here's the dirty little secret. We've done a bunch of Vikings need to draft player X, Y, and Z. And after the draft, the ones that they do draft, we're going to save those videos. We're going to delete all the rest of them. So we'll look like, Nostradamus. Nah, just kidding. It's the running shtick of our draft profiles. TJ all day. Who's your favorite Vikings punter of all time? Well, we should be saying Greg Coleman, right? But respect Greg Coleman. You like his work on the radio, but also Chris Cluey was a dude. Chris Cluey was freaking good for a number of years, and yeah, eventually, like his his advocacy. I mean, teams want players that shut up and play ball. And that's it, and we've seen that. No matter what angle of the political aisle that they're going for, and eventually Cluey wasn't worth the squeeze. Also, I didn't like Cluey. He got all indignant when they drafted Jeff Locke in the 5th round. It's like, they didn't even tell me. Bitch, they don't need to tell you anything, right? Do you think that they told Brian Robinson, hey, there's this kid in the 3rd round from LSU that we're going to take? Well, hey, B-Rob, what up? I'm fishing. Just to let you know. Just get out of here. Get out of here. Abza Abdi. Talked about players that can step up in year 2. Oliudo has name thrown in the conversation. We talked about Oliudo quite a bit. We just haven't done an individual video on him, but I do believe in the 6th round, 2nd-year man out of Elon. I do think he's a long-term project, though. Also, Abdi, bold prediction, swap safeties with the Jets, Adams, and some picks be Crev. I mean, if we get Jamal Adams for Anthony Harris straight up, F me. F me. Do it. Levi Kravik. Levi Cracked. Initially, I read that as Lenny Kravitz. That's not correct. Thomas A. Shout out to Boston. Goddamn Patriots. There you go. Do you ever listen to Love and Rockets? I have not, but we'll put on the queue of things to look for. Preacher Paul for all y'all on the road. Being a Vikings fan for 50 years. It always leaves me scratching my head at the end of the year after the 98 season. I just don't hold on that tight anymore. Skull. Yeah, I actually kind of... For the Vikings to win a Super Bowl, I mean, obviously it'd be great for me. Although, I mean, my earliest cogent memory of the Vikings is probably the Warren Moonish area. Definitely the Chris Carter era where, was it 94, 95, 96 was Warren Moon, I want to say. Chris Carter had back-to-back 122 catch seasons with Warren frickin' Moon. So that was the first tangible Vikings memory for me. So everything after that was obviously really big in the fandom. 98 was kickstart for me. But I mean, I was born 77? Yeah, so I was born 10 years after the Vikings last lost the Super Bowl. So take my age plus 10 years. That's how long it's been since the Vikings had lost the Super Bowl. And yeah, famously, the Vikings 0 for 4 in the Super Bowls, brick, whatever. But also, I wasn't around for that 75 team, supposedly the greatest Vikings team of all time, which is the Pearson push-off team. I don't remember the 89 Vikings, the plucky upstart ones, beating New Orleans on the road, beating number 1 San Francisco in the division round, and then eventually losing to Washington. Washington won the Super Bowl that year. But yeah, so when the Vikings actually do peel off freaking Jerome one time, I want to be in the shoes of some older Vikings fans that maybe they're okay boomer, maybe they've been around for a long time, maybe they remember them as an expansion team in '61. I mean, freaking A. I mean, you think about like Texans fans, they're around OG from 2002. Now add 45 years of history on top of that. It's a big deal, right? So I just want, I just wish you could inject the emotions of like a long time suffering, like legit Vikings fan, like into my veins when they win that first one. It'll be like, I wish I could show the video, but YouTube would kick us off. They're very persnickety about that. But there was a commercial for the Boston Red Sox after they won their first World Series before they got annoying again. The Cowboy Up crew. Doug Mankiewicz was playing first base. Shout out Dougie. Also, by the way, high school in Miami, Doug Mankiewicz was tight end for a superstar quarterback in high school named Alex Rodriguez. Look it up. So when the Red Sox first won, it, of course, been like 100 years, curse of Babe Ruth, that whole thing. And Nike did a great commercial where it's like all these fans throughout the years, and then it finally happened. And there's like it was a shot of the old people on the final out, and just like now I can finally die happy. There you go. Cool. So Jerome Shalom, tour of Jeromeville. Yeah, we're gonna do a tour video eventually. The studio is very messy at this point because kids. Yeah. Who are on the cards behind you? So the cards behind us are from our pack openings, which just kind of go through that. We'll do that as part of the tour. Like the superstars, Drew Lock. We got Everson up there. Derek Carr, Jameis. So a lot of them are ironic, but some of them are kind of funny. There you go. As well as why the Bama hat. So I was given that hat. I don't know, just sort of showed up. Roll Tide. There we go. Lorenz Kindling. What should Rick get from the Giants for Harris if they would take him? I mean, their early second round pick. I mean, we would go that route. Wiki. Also, we got a snarky comment. If you did your homework, you would see that the Giants are trying to move a defensive tackle. Bitch, I don't care about your defensive tackle, man. Yeah. All right, so 36 one time for Anthony Harris. Like 36, and we'll throw in a 6. Anthony Harris and a 6 for 36. One time. Or a trade that we talk about in the video that's going out tomorrow. So Vikings sitting at 22, chilling ahead of the Patriots. Obviously going to be in the market for a quarterback. You know who else could be in the market for a quarterback? The Indianapolis Colts. Hello. That's one of the big drawbacks of them giving up 13. But the Colts do have 34, as well as the Colts have 44 and 2 zigzags. Let's go. 34, 44, one time for 22. Let's make it happen. Plus, the Vikings would have 4 picks now in that really sexy part. 25, 34, 44, 58. Let's play. Bingo. Shit. All right, next. Brian Niaz. If Adrian Alday Peterson was somehow convinced or duped to star in the Hulk theme porno where he obviously plays the Hulk, would you watch it? Sure as hell. Well, everyone would say, no, obviously I would not watch it. I mean, who would do those things? But then everyone would watch it. I mean, let's be serious here. Where, so many people, proclaim that they don't watch pornography and all that stuff. But also, how do some videos on Pornhub have 20 million views, right? Like some videos on there have like Gangnam Style numbers, which have been viewed like 700 billion times. Also, a couple of videos are called Gangnam Gangbang Style. There you go. Also, how do I know Pornhub video numbers? No. It's one of those things where everyone does it, but everyone does not want to admit it. There you go. Actually, let's look up how many. No, I'm not going to bring up Pornhub. Actually, I'm surprised it hasn't popped up in one of these things, but that's how. Style. How many views Gangnam Style has? Are there 3.5 billion views? 3.5 billion. And also the knockoff one where people just upload them for fun, 112 million views. Man, like if our trade Anthony Harris video, how about that gets 3.5 billion views? I could just retire and say deuces. We're done. Shut it down. Production value. There you go. Mason Large. If Tua is there at 22, should the Vikings take him? Well, yeah. Paul Haywood 3. Say you trade up for Judy Lamb and Henderson Kinlaw, but don't have picks until the 4th round after doing so. Is that a win, or are you giving up too much? All right, so you come away with, say, Judy and Kinlaw, but you give up all the 2nd and 3rd rounders. That's close. It's close. I'd say no, but it's close. Favorite barbecue item and the biggest sleeper. My MVP is ribs, and sleeper are hot links. So favorite barbecue item for me, I would say brisket, and a sleeper BBQ item. Like smoked turkey wings. Like everyone talks about like smoked. Also smoked chicken wings. We'll just go with that. So yeah, wings are phenomenal. I love them, obviously. Most of them are deep fried, but if you just take the time and do up a nice little brine. So say it's not a brine like you would do fried chicken and like buttermilk and stuff, but say you're brining a turkey. So you got your salt, you got your sugar, you got some peppercorns, you got some aromatics, you got some bay leaves, etc. So just first off, go get the 10-pound bag of chicken wings at Costco. It's like $20. It's phenomenal. So get all that and get yourself like a 5-gallon bucket, and clear space in the fridge where it can sit in there. So you dump the entire frozen bag of chicken wings, empty it into that 5-gallon bucket. And now this 5-gallon bucket is only for food only, by the way. So they're like $2 at Menards. Have a bunch of them. They come in handy for lots of things. So dump all that in, cold water, put in the brine, and then just let that sit and let the chicken wings thaw, and keep them in the fridge, do all that stuff up, and then pat them dry, and then toss them in a nice little spice rub. Again, not too heavy on the salt because, they're going to shrink as well. I was in the pool, as well as, there's not a lot of surface to meat ratio there. So it's really easy to oversalt wings. A lot of people oversalt wings as well as like ribs as well, thin meat. And then just put them on the smoker. Whether you got a live fire, whether you got, or even like a charcoal grill would be great. Do offset and just win the day. Just win the day, man. Like that smoke flavor, as well as if you do them low enough, they'll be on the heat long enough where they develop a nice little texture on the outside. So it's just great. Do that. Ryan O'Sullivan, thoughts on a possible Yannick Ngakoue trade. So we're doing a video on that tomorrow, and it's not as insane as you would think. Well, Jacksonville doesn't have a ton of leverage because he obviously wants out. They're obviously shopping him. They're in a full rebuild now, and there's going to be demand for him. Like, even though he's going to command pretty decent sized money, is he going to get top end of the market money? I don't think so. I mean, he is a very productive pass rusher. Just the insane pressure numbers show that, as well as a lot of people knock him as like, well, he hasn't had double-digit sacks in 3 years. But they said like sack is a pretty imperfect metric of the effectiveness of a pass rusher. Show me their pressures. Show me how many times they are getting towards the passer as opposed to getting home. Plus, they don't factor in. It's like how many sacks does a person acquire where it's one of the other defensive linemen or a linebacker or whatever doing the work, and you just get the quarterback pushed into you, right? So those count the same as, hey, you just split a double team, you just juked the running back, and then you tackle both the quarterback and the fullback on the same play. So they don't take those into account. So give me the pressures, and Ngakoue is an absolute pressure beast. And I love Ifeadi Odenigbo. I think he's full on ready to start. But if you have an opportunity to bring in Ngakoue and pair him with Danielle Hunter, oh man, that would be sexy time. Plus you got Ifeadi, have all three of them on the field in passing downs. I mean, come on. Plus the Vikings could work it since they have about $8 million in cap space. Once you factor in the rookies, where they can make a deal work, like they do with Michael Pierce, small cap hit in 2020, and then feather that out into future years. So, would you give up 25? It's pretty close. I mean, 58 would be a slam dunk. I don't know if Jacksonville would take that though, because I think there is going to be a little bit of demand for him, especially since it's a relatively down edge class. Beyond, Chase Young, and then like Chasen, and then like Gross Matos, and then Epinenza. It's like, okay. It really falls off quickly after that, but I would be in. Brett Charles. Just watch your new 7-round mock with the Anthony Harris trade. Do you think we utilize the pick to get a little more depth behind Kirk? Maybe explore drafting Fromm. I just flat out don't like Jake Fromm. I just don't. He doesn't do a lot for me, right? Because arm strength wise, accuracy wise, intangible wise, pretty all the way around. But I don't see them going quarterback just because of Spielman's tendencies. Like I mentioned, he hasn't drafted a non-first round quarterback since 2008. And also, I mean, Kirk, with the extension, he is the de facto GM now. He is the one who got Stephon Diggs traded, right? Oh, no, it was just completely coincidental timing that Diggs was talking smart the day of the Kirk Cousins extension that he got traded that day. When even all the reports and even Brandon Beane confirmed that the trade just came together that afternoon. Okay. Sheeple. But yeah, I don't see them spending early draft capital on a quarterback. I would love to see it though, but I don't see it this year. Christopher Cole. Did you see Daniel Jeremiah's mock 3.0? No. Had the Vikings taken Jalen Johnson in 22? Ooh, Higgins 25. I like Jalen Johnson more than a lot of people. I think consensusly he's seen as a second round-ish pick. Does have some health concerns, but just in terms of a guy who's going to rock man-to-man, a guy that a little bit of a gambler, which I like in a cornerback. I love Jalen Johnson from Utah. I wouldn't mind him at 22. Even though I love him, it does still feel like a reach. But pretty much everyone at 22, 25 is going to feel like a reach. T. Higgins at 25, fine with that. Although, see, Fulton Gladney, Josh Jones on board. Given the wide receiver depth, I probably would have gone Josh Jones at 25. So Jalen Johnson, Josh Jones at that spot. Yeah, that's about it. Cyberboy123, watching lecture on Zoom versus watching Purple for the win. Shout out, longtime OG Jerome, Cyberboy123. There you go. Also, if you guys are participating in a Zoom meeting, whether an actual work event or work meeting or just like a happy hour, man, that gets out of control fast. It's like herding cats. If you get more than 3 people on that stream, it is a gong show. It's like, oh, who's talking now? Oh, you're lagging. Oh, your video's breaking up. Oh, should I talk now? Oh, now you're talking. Oh, no. Akelin 14. It's a lot of fun though. A14. The Vikings should move Eric Kendricks to safety next Palomalu. I mean, he's quick and fast for a linebacker. He is very slow and plotting for a safety. So, Foreign Savage 87. And now Eric Wilson to safety, which he was at Cincinnati. Foreign Savage 87. Most underrated band is Gotti Loog. Go look that up. Are we going to have a video where you look at all of our mock drafts? Yeah, I've just been extremely lazy. We'll get to it. Now we'll get to it in July, and they'll just roast you. It's like, oh, you dummies, you should have known that the Vikings were going to take Prince Winogo at 22 and just massively overdraft him. Christopher Cole, even though I like him too. Christopher Cole, gotta go with LA Guns, Rat, or Cinderella. Hair Glam Metal one time. All very solid additions to the 80s pantheon of rock gods. There you go. Johnny Green. Jake was a stud in college. Why is he so low on people's boards? Well, like we said, He was a perfectly fine college quarterback. You know who else was a stud in college, though? Jake Browning. And just looking at, actually, Fromm reminds me of Browning a lot. He really does. Cyberbully123. Imagine Kinlaw to the Falcons alongside Grady Jarrett. Yeah, that makes me vomit. Just so stupid. Which D-line were allowed to wear single-digit numbers like in college? Your thoughts? I feel like the NFL should have a little bit of fun and allow one player from each team to have whatever number that you want. Full-on YOLO style. So now that could be like if Aaron Donald wanted to wear number 5, wear that. Or on the Vikings, say Danielle Hunter wanted to wear a 7, break the curse of number 7, do that up. Yeah, I think they should. Actually, the reason that the numbers are the way they are is so antiquated, isn't it? Because it was originally to allow have refs have an easier time spotting who's eligible and who's not. So I think it's just really stupid now. Daba. Do you think Josh Klein is going to come back to the Vikings? Yes, I do. I think he's going to come back on a rather minimal deal. I think he'll compete because I don't think he's going to find a starting spot here anytime soon. So there you go. Paul for Skull. Vikings need to draft Tyler Johnson and Winfield Jr. one time. Excellent players. Both really good players. Also, just discounting the fact that they're from here. Absolutely. Dirk Tutska, the North Dakota State University, pretty solid. Kay Notley. Do you think the Vikings will draft a quarterback to take over after Cousins' contract is up, or will they wait until a later time draft quarterback? I don't think it'll be this year. It might be next year. Certainly 2 years after that. Hopefully one time. Jesse J in the live chat. You, the man, Andy, your viewers are very much appreciated. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming along in the live chat as well. Let's see here. There you go. Next up. Mark Wills, Woody's dad is in a Supermax prison. Is he still alive? Because like Charles Harrell, because Charles Harrison was a legit hitman back in the day. Charles Harrison, and actually he's wasn't he actually? Is his name Charles? Maybe just like Woody Harrelson dad. Because it was rumored, it was Charles Harrelson. It was rumored that he may have been the one who killed Kennedy, or at least was part of the conspiracy to kill Kennedy. Is he still alive? Oh, no, he died in 2007. So, there you go. All right, next. Also, Woody Harrelson's a raw vegan. I don't think I could do it. Definitely could not. Zach Hazlius. Do you think Vikings draft offensive line or wide receiver first? I'd say O-line. Going back in time, would you pick Derek Carr over Teddy Bridgewater, knowing what we know now? Well, is it 100% guaranteed that Teddy's leg falls off? Because if it wasn't Teddy, it would have been Derek Carr, because that's just how karma with the Vikings work. As of right now, even with the injury, I would say no, because I think Teddy is in a much better position with Carolina. I think he's going to have a great opportunity with Joe Brady and Matt Rule, especially Joe Brady, by the way. Like, think of Teddy in the LSU offense last year. I mean, just absolutely insane. Plus, he'd be playing against college kids, so bonus. But also, Derek Carr is on his way out with the Raiders. Like, they can say whatever they want. They didn't sign Mario to be a backup. Their interest in Brady was legit. So, nah. Kirky or Juan Mendoza. If Kirky would allow it, who would be your dream current quarterback to back up number 8? Jordan Love. Absolutely Jordan Love. What would you want in return for our 2 first-rounders if traded away? I don't really want to trade up in this draft. I guess if you gave up both firsts, Andrew Thomas or Jeff Okudah, maybe Derek Brown. A little bit too rich for Kinlaw. All right, so 2 firsts, Isaiah Simmons, Jeff Okudah, Chase Young will probably cost a little bit more than that, or Andrew Thomas. That's it. Ethan Griffith, Greta Van Fleet for a band. Would you trade 22 overall for the Ravens, 2 second-round picks, 56, 60, and their third, 92? Yes. Points very close on trade. Yeah, I would do that. Harvey Melber. We should trade Reef 22 and a future 2 and a late rounder to the Browns for 10 and select Judy. So Reef. It's a Reef and a first rounder and a future 2. I don't think it would take that much. Take Gladney at 25 and trade for Trent Williams. Oh, thoughts on Millen Collin for a band? Haven't heard of them. We'll look them up, but let's see. That's a lot of moving parts for a trade. All right, so you're giving up. So you come up with a cornerback, Gladney. You traded for Trent Williams. What'd you trade for him, though? And you give up a future 2 and Reef to go up and get Judy. Yeah. Drew Lenz. If we don't trade up to number 1 overall and draft Cyrus McButcheese, this franchise is a joke. Yeah, Cyrus McButcheese. Watch our rant about the draft hype and groupthink. It's a good time. DG. Most underrated band or groups, the rock band Kick from the 80s movie Body Slam, and from the 90s rap group NWH, with members Tone Deaf, Tasty Taste, and Ice Cold in the movie Fear of a Black Hat. I've not heard of either of those movies, but we'll Wikipedia them because that's how I watch movies now. Andy, can you guess, if you can guess what dinosaur has 500 teeth without looking up, I'd be surprised. Be a plesiosaur? Maybe like the fish dinosaur? Is that? I don't know. If you were Rick Spielman, what position would you pick first? His underrated band is Pink Floyd. Yeah, I feel like Pink Floyd is sort of like CCR, where they're obviously well known, obviously get a lot of play, but also the entire catalog of Pink Floyd as well as CCR, really, really good. John Fogerty one time. What position would you pick first? Just because of scarcity, I would go offensive tackle. Yeah. Lastly, get this in frame. Ridge Fisher. Should the Vikings make a move for DeAndre Hopkins if the Texans and Cardinals deal falls through? Because either player is unable to get their physical. Send Reef in a second. I say no. I feel like Nuke and Thielen, they overlap quite a bit in skill sets. Although, I mean, Nuke is freaking legit, but also I feel like he is inching towards, not so much the end of his prime, but also, paying at that big prime rate. Man, I say no. So we were going to run our daily mock draft. We were going to do that on the new PFF mock draft simulator. Go check out Pro Football Focus. It's actually free. But it must be like too many people trying to get on at once because it wasn't loading for me. So there you go. So we're going to run another one on the Draft Network. Doing the draft and doing stuff. All right, so big board right away. Christian Fulton, Jordan Love is there at 22. Zach Bond, Denzel Mims. Okay, so what the Vikings are looking for, man, got ugly really fast. So offensive line, man. All right, so they got Josh Jones below Isaiah Wilson. Okay, so our guy Ezra Cleveland's there. Do that up. Prince. I really do like Winogo if everything checks out with his knee, but again, you're not going to be able to do medical checks on that because of the Rona. But I also don't want him as the first offensive lineman taken. Like, I want him, if drafted, to be able to sit. A lot like the Eagles did with Andre Dillard last year, sitting behind Jason Peters. But at this stage, on this one, I'm just not even going to look at positions. I'm just going to shoot from the hip. Off the big board. There you go. All right, so we got Christian Fulton. There goes Mims. Do we just go Cesar Ruiz? Or do we just go Josh Jones at this point? Or, you know what? Let's have some fun. TGIF. There you go. So I'm. This is the draft where I say F everyone. I'm just going to give my guy. So Christian Fulton, LaVisca Chenault. Let's play. Let's do that. Let's do that today. All right, there goes Cleveland. Josh Jones is still on the board. Why does everyone hate Josh Jones? Oh, my God, he made it to 58. We kind of have to take him now. All right, so cornerback, wide receiver, / running back, / whatever LaVisca Chenault is. Percy Harvin 2.0. And then as well as Josh Jones is there at 58, which if that happened, man, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. All right, so all right, Matt Pert is there. Love me some Matt Pert. Let's see here. Benjamin. Okay. Meek Robinson's there. Darnay Holmes is intriguing. Actually, yeah, that's it. We are going to double up at cornerback right away. I like the Holmes-Fulton combination. Put him with Mike Hughes as well as Holton Hill. Baby, you got Stu going. Let's see. We're just going to pick through. Just grab different guys. All right. You know what? Just to own everyone, Zach Moss coming on in, where he's the size of Alexander Masson, a little bit quicker, as well as a little bit better receiver than Masson coming in. I mean, he's a lot of fun to watch. He really is. I'm trying to think of like a comp. I know that everyone says Kareem Hunt with Zach Moss. Can't really go wrong with that. All right, so now, Edge, Nico for show. You go James Morgan, just to own him. John Simpson. All right, there you go. All right, John Simpson coming in from the national title runner-up. So got Josh Jones on the outside. You got John Simpson coming in and competing on the interior. And hell, maybe there's a world where Josh Jones wins a left tackle spot. John Simpson and Drew Samia or Oli Udo, two of those three win the starting guard spots. And then Riley Reef is like, well, deuces, you out here. Shit. All right, so next up. See, we always draft Tyler Johnson, though. All right, screw it. We're going to own James Morgan's like, yeah, don't care that you grew up in Green Bay. Don't care that you grew up as the world's largest Packer fan. You are coming here, and you are going to play for the Vikings, and you're going to like it. And you're going to shut your face. I like where the draft is going. Maybe we should just stick on the big board the entire time. It's weird how that works. All right, Garvin from the U. Edge rusher, de jour. We're in. Let's see. Edge. We haven't really grabbed any interior defensive linemen. We draft a running back for some reason. We always draft James Lynch. Benito Jones from Ole Miss, come on in. Oh. Just double back on Roquan? Sure, why not? Roquan, Benito, and Roquan. There goes James Prochet. Deuces. Or can he make it? Oh, he made it. There you go. James Prochet, come on in. As well as Robert Windsor. Now grab Carter Coughlin. Why not? You can play linebacker. All right, so there we go. Those are really quick impromptu mock draft that we had going on. So Christian Fulton at 22, Laviska Shenault, the do-it-all, Percy Harvin, amazing threat coming in at 25. Yes, injury risk, but also go after yourself. Go after faces in my draft. Somehow Josh Jones got to 58. Don't know how, but I love it. I'm in. Also pick up Darnay Holmes, Nate Metters' former teammate, UCLA. Doubling back on cornerback right away. Also, so Zach Moss, where if you want to take the best parts of Dalvin, the best parts of Alexander Madison, like if you want to combine the two, find the happy medium, that's what Zach Moss is. John Simpson, beefy, country strong man, coming in from Clemson, competing on the interior offensive line. James Morgan, the big, strong, tall quarterback from Florida International University, blah, 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 blah. There you go. And then Jonathan Garvin, the edge from the U. And then we doubled down on defensive lineman in the 6. Benito Jones, Roquan Williams, Michigan State, I really like. And then these, I guess that was the 7th. Who really cares at this point? Then also James Prochet, OBJ2 from SMU, as well as Carter Coughlin. Have him listed as edge. You can play linebacker. You can play special teams. You can do all that stuff. So there you go. So that is it. That is the mock draft of the day. That is the live stream for the day. Again, thank you everyone for who submitted questions. Thank you everyone who came along on the live stream as well. And everyone, if you're watching on demand, thank you very much. If you want to support the channel, hit that join button down below. Find out how you can become a monthly or platinum Jerome, support independent work, and do that up. But until tomorrow, see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time on Thursday. Skull, production value. Looking away.